Bob Vila. So I'm officially Bob Vila. I gotta say, man, outside of dealing with the craziness, like you put the craziness aside of the squatter situation and, the purchase, dealing with the banks and the agents, I mean, all the drama and just bad service, put all that negativity aside. Focus just on home ownership for someone like myself who is very like I don't know. I like to understand how things work, right? I was a kid. I used to take my toys apart, right? So I'm a handy person. I like to do for myself. Um, 95% of the work. I mean, think about that. 46 years old, got my driver's license at 15. 95% of the work, maintenance or otherwise, on my vehicles been done by me. And I've had a few. At this point, maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9, just rough estimate. Figured it out, right? Didn't go to mechanics, didn't take a mechanics class, didn't go to school for it. Got the vehicles, bought the books, researched online, figured it out, got it done. And that's been, going on. Vehicle ownership, I don't know, probably started at maybe 2006 or so. So it's been quite a while. Now with the home ownership thing, I've been getting my feet wet step by step. A little bit of paint work. Just did my first sink repair. The drain, what was leaking? It was the part of the drain. Well, I know what it is. There's that part that you see when you look down in the sink, the metal part, the circular part on the other side of the, I guess, the stopper. I'm just like this with bikes and cars. I don't know the name of half the tools or parts that I'm working on. I just get it done, right? I know how to fix it. I know how to repair it or figure it out, but I'm not big on the names. So whatever that part is called, it's separated from the piece underneath. So that was causing a leak. Pretty simple to repair. Just replace the part. Main obstacle challenge was I had another leak when I finished it, the stopper, and that was just based on me putting a washer in the wrong place, but I figured it out yesterday, and I'm exhausted today because of this. Yesterday I took my Bob Vila to the next level. Well, another project I'm working on is with the basement. I'm doing the crown molding, and I'm doing the base, what's it called, baseboard? I don't know. I got all the pieces, in theory, if I measured correctly. I try to measure twice, cut once. Problem is I got beams blocking the crown molding, right? So I'm gonna have to cut. So I was gonna do separate pieces. So I was gonna cut it up into pieces, the crown molding into pieces that go between the beams. But now I'm like, hey man, why not be a little bit more creative and do a custom cutout molding? So basically what I'm gonna do is hold the molding up against the wall, flush in the corner, mark each beam, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, right side. So I got the locations of all the beams, right? Then measure each beam from left to right, right to left, whatever, because the depth is different. They're not all the same, right? Then I'm good to go. I'm hoping I could do this cut with the oscillating multi-tool with the right attachment, and I'm just gonna cut in right where the beam starts and go as deep as my measurements. So I'm basically gonna label everything, right? mark on the crown molding each beam depth, right? I already got the left, right, so you go in left until you hit the beam depth. So make that little square cut out. Boom, 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 boom. Hopefully my measurements are good, my technique is good, and I didn't wiggle it where I'm not supposed to. Everything will line up. Because that would suck to waste the whole crown molding piece, but I'm gonna be doing that. And the base molding, that's simple, no big deal. But yesterday I was doing drainage. I saw there's some situations where I got water getting into the basement. I think it's called hydrostatic pressure. A lot of water concentration near the foundation leads to oversaturation of the soil, and there's a pressure on the foundation where the water's trying to get in. How you gonna get in? Wait, oh, I'm sorry. How you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. Anyway, so the water is pushing, it gets in. That's where it gets in the basement. I saw it on the other side as well. The other side is simple. The drain spout is straight down, so all the water is pooling right at the foundation, getting into the soil. When it gets saturated, then it pushes in through the foundation. So that's easy. I put one of those extender to the spout to push the water away from the foundation. The other side a little more complicated because it got the driveway. So what I did is I dug a hole and I put an extender to the spout in the hole, covered it up. So now the water should drain down, go through the extender, and pool underground away from the house. I don't know if that's going to compromise the driveway. So I got to think about that. Eventually, hang on. Eventually, I might end up hiring someone to do some French drains. But for right now, I'm trying to keep the cost low, so I'm doing my little thing. So I did that. Then there was another point of issue where at the bottom of the driveway, right by one of the apartments, there's a step leading into the apartment. You step up, one step going to the apartment. So you got the wall, then you got the step. In that corner, water was pooling, saturating into the soil. Hydrostatic pressure of the water pressing underground into the wall or the foundation, ending up in the basement where there was enough water after heavy rain where you could do a light splash. You know, not really much splash, but just enough to barely make a splash. Not good. Touched the drywall. I think the guys who put the drywall in, they made a mistake. From what I'm reading, you're supposed to leave a good gap at the bottom of the drywall to prevent exactly what happened, which is just a little bit of water coming in and you're already touching the drywall, which could lead to mold. So they did make a mistake there, in my view, because the gap underneath the drywall was probably, it was pretty tight, 2 millimeters, not even. So because of that, led to a little bit of the drywall getting wet, not good. But I'm gonna try to prevent that from happening in the first place with the spout that I buried, pushing the water away from the house. And then, you know, really kind of a little overkill. I mean, I'm protecting my property, right? I mean, how much is, the value of me doing it a little bit excessive? I want to be excessive because I want to make sure that I don't have these issues anymore. So spout on the ground, then this pooling area by the step and the wall. What I did is I put a plastic, cleared out the area with a putty knife, scraped off the step, swept out as much dust as possible, laid down like a plastic tarp, dug in the back. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. In the back, there was a little water coming into the door as well. I actually cut a custom piece to go underneath the door. I just got the 2x4 whatever from the hardware store. Did my measurements. I cut it off with the with the saw actually. I used a saw to cut it, circular saw, cut it out. I treated it for water, so there's a special whatever it is that I use paintbrush and got it on there. to protect it from water. It should be completely dry now. So tonight I'm gonna liquid nails on the bottom of the door, stick that on there, close that gap, which was like this big almost. Then I'm gonna put a door sweep underneath that to make it perfect, watertight, no more draft coming in. But then there's also a hill in the back where just before the door it goes up and then down into the door. So water can pool right there and slide down via gravity and push into the door. So what I did is I said, hey, this is not a good thing and I need dirt. So I dug up that little mound and took that dirt, relocated it to by the step on the other side on top of the tarp. So I kept digging. The wheelbarrow could barely move. It was so heavy with dirt. I think I overdid it. I barely got that thing. When I got to the top of the hill, I was panting. I was out of breath. Had to drink some water, take a break. Not in my 20s anymore. But I put that dirt in the corner there. Then I got some gravel and poured it on top of the dirt. Unfortunately, the gravel is white, but the rest of the driveway is gray, so it looks like a litter box. My bad. So I'm gonna try to rectify that. I'm trying to get some more gravel to put in the driveway and also to put here so it matches, so it doesn't look so obvious. I'm hoping that it doesn't cause any other issues, because since I put the tarp there, water's not gonna be able to seep through the soil. So if water actually still gets there, even with the spout that I put up the hill. Now, are you going to end up with it? It's going to be a puddle there. So I don't know. I think if I can make it enough of a hill, then the water just won't pool there. Any water that gets there is not going to be able to penetrate and get into the basement. But hopefully it doesn't pool enough that it's a puddle for the tenant there, because I made it a hill. I'm going to try to make it as much of a hill as possible so it slides down and away from that corner and then down the driveway and away from the foundation. Like, that's the plan anyway. So anyway, all this is to say, put all the negativity aside, I'm loving this. I'm actually loving this. I'm really getting into it. The creativity of planning things out, and what kind of colors, and what can I do to make the house better and look better, and putting out outdoor. I mean, it's the whole project. Planning this stuff and coming up with the ideas, and the sense of pride of when you do it and it's done right, and you fix something yourself. Knowing that you saved a lot of money is part of it too. I'm saving money. I have the pride of like me doing it myself. I have the convenience of like something breaks. There'll be a lot of things I'll be able to hopefully. Hey, I can fix that. Oh, that's just a little part. I'll go down to Home Depot, pick up a part, and put it on, and I'm done. I'm good. I don't gotta, hire somebody, pay a lot of money, and they don't do it right, or they don't show up, or I gotta wait a week because they're busy. I can just go do it myself. Now, people are gonna get paid, right? I'm gonna hire people to do stuff that I don't have time to do. I don't have the skill to do. So there will be jobs, but there'll be a lot of little simple things that I'm not gonna waste money hiring someone. I'm gonna do it myself, all right? And again, I'm loving it, man. So once I get everything in order with the squatter situation, I'm really looking forward to this journey. I'm really looking forward to it. My goal overall, as far as the renting, I want to create the best possible experience for my tenants. I want to be able to recruit the best tenants and retain them as well. So I want to create the best possible experience where it's just a cool place to live. People love being there. Things like movie nights, right? Other little perks. I'm looking to outside the box, as I always do, right? I don't want to just do what everybody else is doing, and I don't want to be different just to be different. I'm thinking from a business standpoint, how can I bring the best value to my tenants, and therefore attract the best tenants, and therefore maintain the best tenants, and therefore end up with a good, solid business that doesn't fail but succeeds for the long term, and eventually runs itself. I want to run a tight ship where, I won't have to be it won't have to be a burden, right? It could be a self-run thing. Tenants are happy. You know, the house pays for itself, and I can at my leisure do little projects here and there. Maintain the house well so it's not falling apart. And then look at doing other things, investing in other things. My bipartisan Project Veritas project, traveling around the country, doing interviews related to the content on this channel. I have a business idea of an app that I want to create. I've been wanting to do it for a while. A lot of doors can open if I can do this right, to where I run a solid business. It's profitable. I have happy tenants. And then from that, I leverage that to, you know, expanding into other areas. You know, real capitalist style. Minus the anything for a buck. It's all about the profits. No concern for the customers. The only matter is, you know, are they buying and are they paying top dollar? And no. I want the people who live in my house to be happy and enjoy being there and stay there because they want to be there, because they love it. I want them to struggle with leaving. When it comes to that time, I want them to struggle with, you know, they really like the place and everything. I want to make it as difficult as possible. It's kind of like, man, I really like it here. That's what I want to do. That's just how I get down. That's me. That's how I roll. And rolling like that, in my view, can reap the capitalist rewards, even though I'm doing it the right way, not the ruthless nickel and diamond way, in my view. All right, guys, this is the Baby Channel. Debate in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Let me go get my actual lunch.